In 1975, soft rock was the warm glow between the fireworks of disco and the grit of hard rock. Car radios humming along highways, kitchen radios whispering between coffee and mail, FM dials easing the day into night. Hooks were tender, harmonies patient, lyrics confessional without shouting. These were records built for windows-down breezes and late summer sunsets. So today, we're looking back at the 15 forgotten soft rock hits of 1975. Number 15, Daisy Jane by America. America traded the road for reflection on Daisy Jane, a piano-led ballad wrapped in longing. Written during a moment of transition, the song captured the ache of distance and the beauty of simplicity. Its tender melody carried the California sound home, soft, unhurried, and endlessly wistful. By 1975, America had already etched their name into the soft rock skyline. But fame and touring had weathered them. Jerry Beckley, searching for stillness, wrote Daisy Jane during a quiet spell between cities. The song wasn't about escape, it was about coming home, emotionally and artistically. Its piano and strings spoke where words could not.
But I do agree this time.
Produced by George Martin, the man behind the Beatles' most intricate moments, Daisy Jane became one of soft rock's most elegant studio achievements. Martin's arrangement wove orchestral lines through Beckley's tender vocal, giving the track a cinematic grace without overwhelming its simplicity. You can almost hear London and Los Angeles trading sighs across the tape reels. Though it peaked modestly on the charts, the song's legacy outgrew its numbers. Daisy Jane became a favorite among fans, who understood that beauty often lives in understatement. It's a song about distance, memory, and the soft gravity of love, a quiet treasure from the year soft rock learned to whisper. Number 14, Please Mr. Please by Olivia Newton-John. In an age of jukeboxes and heartbreak, Olivia Newton-John gave us a plea every listener understood, the pain of hearing that one song again. Blending country charm and soft rock grace, Please Mr. Please turned memory into melody, making quiet heartbreak sound effortlessly tender. When the song hit airwaves in 1975, Newton-John was bridging continents, an Australian-born artist shaping Nashville and Los Angeles into one shared harmony. Written by Bruce Welch and John Rossdale of The Shadows, the track found its emotional center in Olivia's delivery. Her gentle phrasing carried empathy, not drama, turning a barroom request into a universal ache. The song's story unfolds in a smoky tavern, where a woman pleads with the DJ not to play B-17, the song tied to a past love. It's a quiet act of self-preservation that resonated deeply. The single climbed to the top 10 on the Billboard charts and crossed over to country radio, cementing Newton-John's ability to speak softly, yet reach everyone. Please Mr. Please endures, because it captures something eternal. How music can reopen old wounds, even as it comforts them. Olivia's tone isn't bitter. It's weary, wise, and kind. In a decade bursting with spectacle, she reminded us that sometimes the smallest stories, sung gently, echo the loudest. Number 13, Dance With Me by Orleans. Dance With Me floated through the summer of '75 like sunlight on water, breezy, simple, and filled with joy. Orleans crafted an invitation to connection, not romance. Its gentle harmonies and acoustic warmth captured soft rock's essence, unforced, familiar, and made for moments that last. Formed in Woodstock, New York, Orleans came from the same scene that birthed the band and Van Morrison's collaborators. Yet their touch was lighter, more melodic. Written by Larry Hoppin and Johanna Hall, Dance With Me began as a casual chord progression on an acoustic guitar. What made it magic was restraint. The song never pushes, it glides, content in its simplicity. The harmonies shimmered like water in motion, buoyed by a clean guitar line and a subtle rhythmic pulse. It wasn't a track designed for stadiums, it was made for porches, park benches, and slow drives with the windows down. The song climbed to number 6 on the charts, but more importantly, it became a kind of shorthand for the mid-70s mood, contentment without complacency. Nearly 50 years later, Dance With Me still feels like a deep breath between decades, a reminder of when pop could be personal and soft rock could feel spiritual. It's the sound of an invitation without agenda, a melody that asks only for a moment shared before the night fades. Number 12, Poetry Man by Phoebe Snow. Poetry Man brought jazz sophistication into the soft rock era. Phoebe Snow's voice, intimate and conversational, carried the confessional spirit of the mid-70s. The song unfolded like a diary entry set to nylon strings, reminding listeners that tenderness could be as powerful as truth. Recorded for her self-titled debut album, Poetry Man became Snow's breakthrough, an unlikely hit that sounded nothing like its chart companions. Her phrasing moved like jazz, free yet focused, and her lyrics blurred the line between strength and vulnerability. It was a soft rock single with the heartbeat of a smoky nightclub confession. The production, simple yet rich, left room for Snow's acoustic guitar to breathe. Each note felt deliberate, as if chosen for emotional precision. The song rose to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, a testament to how authenticity could still win in an era of gloss. Critics praised Snow's ability to turn personal reflection into poetic resilience. Though she resisted commercial molds, Poetry Man remains timeless, a portrait of unguarded honesty framed in melody. Snow didn't chase perfection, she sang her truth. In doing so, she expanded what soft rock could be, a genre not of style, but of soul. Number 11, Jackie Blue by the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Mystery shimmered behind the smooth rhythm of Jackie Blue. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils, known for their rootsy sound, slipped into something sleeker, an enigmatic portrait painted in electric light. Its haunting groove and cryptic lyrics turned melancholy into motion, soft rock with a secret smile. When Jackie Blue climbed the charts in 1975, fans were surprised. The Daredevils had built their reputation on southern twang and harmonica grit, yet here was something entirely different, a blend of pop polish and folk intimacy. Written by Larry Lee and Steve Cash, the song emerged almost by accident, a late-night studio idea that turned into a crossover sensation. Its hypnotic rhythm, carried by Lee's smooth falsetto, blurred gender and meaning alike. Was Jackie Blue a woman, a man, or a metaphor for loneliness itself? The band kept their silence, letting listeners project their own stories onto the track. Its ambiguity made it irresistible, one of those rare songs that feels like a dream you half remember after dawn. The song hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and gave the group their defining moment of mainstream recognition. Yet, unlike many chart hits, Jackie Blue never lost its quiet allure. It remains a perfect snapshot of the mid-70s, when mystery still had melody, and soft rock could shimmer with both warmth and shadow. Number 10, Sky High by Jigsaw. Sky High soared on strings, guitars, and heartbreak disguised as pop brilliance. The British band Jigsaw spun rejection into radio gold, their polished orchestration lifting sorrow into the stratosphere. Every note gleamed with 70s optimism, proof that even goodbyes could still sound like sunlight. Originally written for the 1975 film The Man from Hong Kong, Sky High became an international hit almost overnight. The band's guitarist Clive Scott and drummer Des Dyer crafted the song's bittersweet lyrics about a lover's betrayal, pairing them with a dazzling brass and string arrangement that felt cinematic. It was heartbreak, yes, but heartbreak with a glint of glamour. The song's distinct high-register vocal, sung by Dyer, gave it a haunting brightness that set it apart from its contemporaries. Across radio waves, it became an anthem of elegant pain, heartbreak you could dance to. When it soared to number 3 on the United States charts, it proved that British soft rock could be both lush and sincere, without losing its sparkle. Even decades later, Sky High still glows with cinematic energy. It's a reminder that the 70s didn't just soundtrack emotions, they staged them. For every listener who's ever masked sadness with a smile, Jigsaw's shimmering heartbreak remains the perfect sky to disappear into. Number 9, Ain't No Way To. Treat a Lady by Helen Reddy. Helen Reddy's Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady stood quietly powerful in an age of male-fronted bands. It's a soft rock anthem of self-respect, delivered with velvet conviction. The song carried strength without shouting, a gentle yet unshakable reminder of dignity in love. Written by Harriet Schock, the song found its perfect interpreter in Reddy, who had already become a symbol of female empowerment with I Am Woman. Yet this track was subtler, more intimate. Rather than a rallying cry, it was a conversation, a reflection of emotional maturity in a world that often dismissed women's voices. Reddy's understated phrasing gave the lyrics their authority. Each line was less an accusation and more an awakening. The song's soft production, acoustic guitars, restrained percussion, and smooth backing vocals framed her voice like light through gauze. It wasn't angry, it was resolute, and that made it revolutionary in its own quiet way. Reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, Ain't No Way to Treat a Lady, became one of Reddy's defining statements. Its message transcended gender and generation, reminding listeners that respect and tenderness are inseparable. It's soft rock at its most mature, poised, articulate, and infinitely human. Number 8, Calypso by John Denver. John Denver turned admiration into melody on Calypso, his tribute to Jacques Cousteau's oceanic voyages. With lilting rhythms and soaring harmonies, it merged environmental wonder with human warmth. The song reminded listeners that exploration wasn't just about discovery, it was about gratitude for the world itself. Denver wrote Calypso as a love letter to both the sea and the spirit of exploration. Cousteau's ship, Calypso, symbolized humanity's curiosity and courage, and Denver translated that into sound. The rhythm swayed like waves, while the lyrics celebrated stewardship and unity, a reminder that every adventure carries responsibility. Recorded alongside I'm Sorry, its double-sided release made history when both songs topped the charts. Where one explored heartbreak, the other celebrated hope. Calypso showcased Denver's gift for turning nature into narrative, his crystalline tenor soaring like sunlight on open water. It was soft rock, yes, but infused with reverence and awe. The song remains one of Denver's most enduring creations, a musical postcard from a time when optimism still felt infinite. To this day, Calypso reminds us that love for the earth is one of humanity's most beautiful harmonies. Number 7, Third-Rate Romance by the amazing Rhythm Aces. Third-Rate Romance painted a cinematic scene in just a few verses. Two strangers, a motel room, and a fleeting connection. With country edges and soft rockies, it captured the realism of human loneliness, turning ordinary lives into extraordinary melody. Wistful, ironic, and utterly true. Released in 1975, this song was a breakout for the amazing Rhythm Aces, a Tennessee band who blurred the lines between southern rock, rhythm and blues, and pop. Written and sung by Russell Smith, it wasn't glamorous, and that was its genius. It told a story you could see, flickering neon, cigarette smoke, and the fragile comfort of temporary company. Its melody moved like a slow dance between irony and tenderness. Each line felt both funny and sad, revealing how the smallest encounters can still carry emotional weight. The track rose to number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that storytelling, not spectacle, was soft rock's truest strength. Third-Rate Romance endures because it's about what people rarely admit, that even fleeting connections matter. Its humor is gentle, its sadness familiar, and its honesty timeless. It's a song that doesn't judge, it simply observes, quietly reminding us that every story, however small, deserves a melody. Number 6, Fallen in Love by Hamilton, Joe Frank and Reynolds. Fallen in Love was smooth as satin and just as timeless. Its mellow groove, layered vocals, and polished rhythm defined mid-70s radio comfort. The song felt effortless, soft rock's signature magic, where emotion floated rather than fought. It was simplicity perfected, love without pretense. By the summer of 1975, Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds had already tasted success. But this song marked their peak. Written by Dan Hamilton, Fallen in Love distilled romance into its purest form. No grand declarations, just the calm realization of devotion. Its relaxed tempo and clean production mirrored the serenity of contentment. The recording shimmered with understated craftsmanship. The rhythm section pulsed like a heartbeat. The harmonies floated like late afternoon air, and the electric piano glowed at its edges. It topped the Billboard Hot 100, a rare feat for such a gentle tune, proving that sincerity still resonated in a decade-chasing spectacle. Decades later, Fallen in Love still plays like the musical embodiment of ease, proof that love songs didn't need fireworks to be profound. It's the sound of balance, of emotional honesty wrapped in melody. A perfect reminder that sometimes the quietest emotions are the ones that endure. Number 5. Only Yesterday by Carpenters. The Carpenters' Only Yesterday balanced melancholy with hope, Karen's tender voice resting on Richard's immaculate arrangements. It's a song about quiet renewal, about moving forward while remembering. In an era of flash and volume, the Carpenters proved that calm could be cinematic too. Released in 1975, Only Yesterday became one of the duo's last major hits and perhaps their most perfectly realized. Richard's lush orchestration combined with Karen's unmatched vocal warmth to create a sound both intimate and expansive. It's a song that begins in reflection and ends in resilience, sorrow giving way to sunlight. Recorded at A&M Studios in Los Angeles, the production is as pristine as a watercolor painting, delicate yet vivid. Every instrument seems to breathe, supporting Karen's voice without ever overshadowing it. Beneath its smoothness lies emotional depth, the ache of memory, the beauty of endurance, and the courage to begin again. Only Yesterday still feels timeless because it captures the essence of the Carpenters' artistry, the power of understatement. It's not nostalgia for the past, it's gratitude for having lived it. And in every replay, we're reminded that healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it sings. Number 4. Miracles by Jefferson Starship. Miracles glided through radio waves like a slow-motion dream. Jefferson Starship, rising from psychedelic roots, found something intimate here. Sensual but restrained, layered but light. It's a song that asks for patience, for surrender to melody. Soft rock as meditation, both romantic and reflective. Written by Marty Balin, Miracles marked a new chapter for a band that had once defined the counterculture. Where Jefferson Airplane had shouted against the system, Jefferson Starship chose to whisper to the heart. Balin's inspiration came from both spiritual philosophy and the complexities of human connection, creating a track that felt ethereal but emotionally grounded. The song's arrangement drifts like candlelight, lush keyboards, warm bass, and those iconic backing vocals that seem to hover in air. At over 6 minutes in its album form, Miracles refused to rush. It invited listeners to exhale, to sink into its rhythm, and to rediscover intimacy in a decade obsessed with motion. It became a top 3 hit, proving patience could still find an audience. Even now, Miracles feels like time slowed down. It's both prayer and love song, a moment where rock's rebellion evolved into reflection. Balin once said he wrote it to express the miracle of being alive. Decades later, that miracle still lingers in every breath of the melody. Number 3. Chevy Van by Sammy Johns. Few songs captured mid-70s freedom like Chevy Van. Acoustic strums and desert imagery built a story of youth, wanderlust, and fleeting romance. It was a love song to the road itself, unpretentious, free-spirited, and drenched in the warm light of small-town nostalgia. Sammy Johns wrote Chevy Van as an ode to movement, not rebellion, but release. The song's story of a chance encounter on a dusty highway resonated with a generation raised on asphalt dreams and late-night FM radio. Recorded in Atlanta, it cost just a few $100s to produce, yet it rolled across the country like wildfire. Its laid-back tempo and vivid storytelling made it more than a song. It was a cinematic snapshot of American youth. In transition, as Johns' mellow vocals painted scenes of moonlit roads and soft confession, listeners heard their own memories reflected back. It reached number 5 on the Billboard charts and later became an anthem for van culture. The soundtrack to freedom itself, Chevy Van still feels like an open window on a summer night, the kind of song that takes you somewhere even when you're standing still. It's a time capsule of innocence, desire, and motion. And in its quiet way, it reminds us that sometimes love isn't about forever, it's about the journey. Number 2, At 17, by Janis Ian. At 17 spoke what so many felt but never said. Janis Ian's delicate voice carried the quiet ache of adolescence, the loneliness beneath perfection. Its gentle rhythm and confessional lyrics turned vulnerability into strength, a soft rock ballad that still whispers honesty across generations.
We spent on one more beautiful.
When Janis Ian released At 17, she was barely out of her teens herself. Inspired by a newspaper article about debutante culture, she wrote the song as both confession and confrontation, a reflection on the pain of invisibility. In a world that prized beauty and belonging, she gave voice to the overlooked.
Lovers on the phone.
Built around acoustic guitar and subtle flugelhorn, the song's simplicity gave space for truth. Listeners didn't just hear Ian's story, they felt their own. It reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won a Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal. But its deeper success was emotional. It made loneliness a shared experience instead of a secret one.
They sought again.
Decades later, At 17 still stops conversations. It's the rare song that grows with its listeners, once about teenage doubt, now about self-acceptance. In the quiet honesty of Janis Ian's voice, every listener finds themselves at some version of 17, learning that the truest beauty lies in being real.
Shoes and sights for basketball.
Number 1, I'm Not in Love by 10cc. I'm Not in Love wasn't just a song, it was an atmosphere. Built from layered vocals and studio precision, it redefined what soft rock could be. Technological, yet tender, ironic, yet aching. Beneath its cool denial lived an unmistakable truth. That love always betrays its silence. Created by the British art pop group 10cc, the song was a studio experiment that became an emotional masterpiece. Eric Stewart and Graham Gouldman built its sound from over 250 vocal overdubs, creating a choir of their own voices. What emerged wasn't a song in the traditional sense. It was an ambient confession, suspended between logic and longing. The lyrics' restraint, "I'm not in love, so don't forget it," made the emotion hit even harder. It was about denial as devotion, about saying the opposite of what you mean because the truth feels too dangerous. The minimalist arrangement, punctuated by a whispering voice, made listeners lean in closer. It climbed to number 2 in the United States and topped the United Kingdom charts, cementing its place as a sonic revolution. Today, I'm Not in Love stands as one of the most haunting love songs ever recorded, not because it declares love, but because it hides it. It's soft rock distilled to its essence, emotion held in tension, beauty built from restraint. Soft rock in 1975 wasn't about rebellion. It was about connection, those quiet spaces between heartbreak and healing, leaving and returning. These songs didn't need volume to move us. They carried sincerity, warmth, and the beauty of imperfection. Listening now, they feel like postcards from another lifetime, written in melody, not ink. If you enjoyed this journey back to 1975, like this video and subscribe for more musical memories. Which of these songs brought you back the most? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep the music playing.